Hey everyone, welcome back to the Atlas Project.
What is up, guys? How you guys doing?
Okay, and today, that was really nice. Today we are going to be talking about horror films.
Our Halloween special.
Yes. More specifically, horror films that we love because of the story.
Right.
Do you want me to start?
Go for it.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the movie It first, because why not?
Hello, Georgie.
Specifically the new one. When I saw the trailers, I was blown away.
Mm-hmm.
It was something that I was like, I'm not going to see that. That's stupid. Because I remember the original It coming out, and I remember being scared of it.
Mm-hmm.
It specifically.
Right.
So I was like, there's no interest in going and seeing that movie because I hate scary movies. I don't like watching scary movies unless it has a good story. So I remember watching all the trailers and going, that looks really well filmed.
Right.
The kid in Stranger Things is in it. Like, it was just something that because I remember looking at the 90s TV show version, super cheesy.
Right.
It's a TV show, essentially. So seeing something movie format, cinematic, really well done was super cool. And then you went and saw it and told me
I was
about
like,
it.
dude, you gotta watch it.
Yeah.
Trying to convince you.
Yeah.
It has that element of, it is a horror film. A lot of people are like, oh, it's not scary.
Yeah.
Because to each your own kind
I
of
thought
thing.
it was scary.
If you don't like clowns, it's terrifying. But
Yeah.
like, it was storyline wise, beautifully done. Film wise, beautifully done. And It himself was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was terrifying.
Yeah, because with horror films or scary films or whatever you want to call them, I psych myself out. I'm freaking out the entire time.
Right.
What I really liked about this movie is that you could tell for the most part when it was time to be scared and when it was like not. So the movie would go back and forth between, all right, these kids are growing up. Let's see what they're experiencing, and then, oh my gosh, this clown is like terrorizing them.
Right.
So it was nice to know, like, there was moments where it was like, I can breathe. Like, let's watch the movie now. And then it would come back and you're like freaking out. So I liked that aspect because it was very much like a roller coaster. But if you take out all the scary parts, which wouldn't technically make sense because you need the scary parts for them to grow up, but it's literally just a coming of age movie.
Oh yeah.
That is probably one of the best I've seen.
Right. The cast was like, they gelled so well. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And I like the tone, like how you were saying it was shifting. It was never an abrupt like, wait, what's going on? It just felt so smooth.
Yeah.
It was butter.
Okay.
It was butter.
Yeah. So I watched it twice. I watched it the first time with Chelsea and her dad, and then watched it with Ethan the second time. So the second time was so much better because I wasn't scared,
Right.
and I could actually enjoy it and watch it and pick up on things that I didn't pick up on the first time because I was just essentially.
Now, do you think that I'm excited for the second one? Like the cast is like spot on. Like they look, all of them look like
I'm only
characters.
worried about Bill Hader. That's the only thing I'm worried about.
I can see that.
Yeah.
But do you think they'll be able to carry that vibe like the first one did?
No, I think it's going to be a different vibe because you can't like that first movie. It was so these kids are growing up. They're feeling things. They're going through stuff that all kids go through. They're dealing with stuff that, like bullies and all that. So you can't really have that same feeling. But what they can do is bring back the nostalgia.
Right.
So I'm assuming, because I've heard that the original cast is going to be in it.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be lots of flashbacks.
Yeah, flashbacks and nostalgia, and they're probably going to probably go in like more in depth on certain scenes, maybe, or kind of bring it back and go, okay, this is what happened after this part, or so that'll be really cool, and it'll still have that coming of age, but then it'll also have that that nostalgia that adults feel,
right,
of like looking back at their childhood, which will be really cool.
Yeah, I think it'll be satisfying too to kind of see them, because they're gonna whoop some ass.
Okay,
they're gonna have to. They did the first time.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
like,
oh man, that is gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I didn't read the book, so I don't know what happened,
dude. Because when what's Flynn? What's his character's name?
Finn?
Finn. Sorry,
Finn? What is
Mike.
Mike.
When
is
he,
it?
yeah, because Mike, what's
Are you sure it's Mike? Because that sounds like Stranger Things.
that is Stranger Things. What is his character?
I don't know.
But anyways, the ending scene. This is a spoiler if you haven't seen it. When he was like walking away from Bill, and he's like, "Bill, like you've done all of this, like."
Oh yeah.
And he's like basically walking away, and
then
all
he
of a sudden
grabs
grabs
the
the
bat,
bat.
yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my!" I love that feeling of like that's like an audience clap right there.
Oh, yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah. Super cool. So that's like that's the best part of that horror film. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like that's like it's a horror film, but it's so much in its own category as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's just like to me, the horror came from the jump scares rather than like the actual story. Like the story was terrifying. Of course, there's this creature following you, but
Yeah,
like it wasn't. To me, it wasn't anything like I couldn't sleep at night kind of horror.
No,
film.
yeah, no.
It was definitely like, oh my god, that's awesome. It was funny, scary, and
Because you can't like with especially being an adult, you know that it's not real.
Right.
Like with Paranormal Activity, that
man.
messed me up for a little bit.
that was a good one though.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a good one.
Yeah.
I and you know, found footage has been around for since Blair Witch Project, so it wasn't anything technically new. But man, like it's the thought of going to bed and something being there that screwed with me.
right.
So,
Because I don't think it really did it, but there's this movie Hereditary that was really good.
didn't we watch that together?
Nah, that was Mother.
No. I'm thinking of At Your House. It's okay.
No, but like Hereditary is very like subtle. Like
Yeah.
literally, you just see a shadow in the corner, no sound effects. The camera just pans, and you're like, "What the hell?" And like Paranormal Activity was a movie that did that very well with like
Yeah.
settled like,
Well, like
the
the-
AC and like doors closing creaking. It wasn't like it wasn't anything like, oh my god, get over here.
Well, then let's talk about this
Uh-huh.
because that kind of ties in to the next movie, which is A Quiet Place,
Uh-huh.
because it did have jump scares,
Yeah.
but it was all about sound.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I'm
What?
gonna say, dude,
You're not a
I'm
fan?
not a fan of like I like the concept. I'm a fan of just.
John Krasinski. I'm so sorry.
It was just that. This is another spoiler. It was just that one scene that killed it for me when he was like, "I love you."
You did.
Dude. It was. Tell me it wasn't like that though. It was very like.
It was. She's deaf, dude.
I know.
He needs to.
I know.
That's like all caps in sign language.
No,
dude.
I know. It was just that like little. And then I was.
Did you watch it twice or only once?
I watched it once. So
okay.
that's the one with you.
'Cause
It's a good movie.
Okay.
It's just not like my favorite.
Well, okay, so I watched it twice. And the first time I was just scared. It's the same thing. It's the first
Right.
time I was scared the whole time. The second time I almost cried, dude.
Right.
Because when you actually look at the reason why he wanted to, what's the matter?
Oh, keep on going.
The reason why he wanted to like do that movie is because it was like a love letter to his kids.
Right.
So the ultimate sacrifice of I'll die so that you can live.
Right.
It got me
Right.
the second time.
That is heavy. It is really heavy. My thing is,
Okay.
okay, because my favorite like scary movie, it's a scary movie thriller, is Signs.
Oh, okay.
That one really like got to me. Like I lost sleep. It was heavy, but it was the same concept of Quiet Place as far as like these small little details that they
Yeah.
left of like, because Signs, it was water.
Yeah,
like there was
yeah.
cups everywhere, and Abigail Breslin, the daughter, was just like, it's contaminated. Like she was like, like just leave it there.
Yeah.
And it was the same kind of concept where what we saw in the beginning of like all these waters was the ultimate factor that helped them at the end
Yeah. So with the
hearing, like
Yeah.
the loud sound.
yeah.
I'm just surprised it took them that long to figure out like that was the thing.
The problem though is that it's because the girl is the one. It was happening to both of them
The aliens and
her.
yeah.
So she has no idea
Right.
that it was happening.
Right.
So she can't be like, "Hey, Dad came up with the revelation today."
Right.
Like that's not that's
Yeah.
not possible for because she just was like, "Oh my gosh, this
allowed.
This is what's
Yeah.
happening."
And the only time they were able to see that was when the alien was present. Like, oh,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
reacting to it. So,
Yeah.
So it does make sense.
Yeah.
But
I'm okay. It's the thing about Quiet Place for me was the sound design and all that.
that was, to me, excellent.
Oh my gosh.
Sound
dude.
design, Emily Blunt's bathtub scene was on point.
Insane.
But it was just that I love
that
you
one
part.
thing that killed you?
that killed.
Dude.
It didn't ruin the movie. The movie's still good. It was
Yeah.
just like, it's not my favorite. It's like I said, really good movie. It's just that once.
Okay, I got it on Blu-ray if you want to borrow it and see if you change your mind or not.
Maybe.
Okay.
Because I don't know. I love John.
Yeah.
But I always see Jim. I
Oh,
always see Jim. We did it.
He man, the beard changes it though.
It
I feel
does.
like, yeah.
It really does. I was just like, I don't know. He killed it too. It was just that I love you.
Did you not like to scream?
It was just it was a little too much.
Yeah.
I feel like if he had like grabbed a shotgun,
Yeah.
but like the and then I was like, okay.
Okay.
But it was
get you.
emotional. Like I get it.
Man, watching it the second time, it changed it for me. Just
Maybe that's what it
yeah.
is.
It's because you're not. Well, you don't have the same reaction.
Well, it's probably funny because you don't expect that. You don't expect that like scream out of nowhere.
Yeah, but then once you realize why he's doing it, I mean, obviously you realize it in the moment, but I don't know. Man, I was blown away with the acting. I mean, actually having the girl be deaf, like she's an actual deaf girl, like is insane in and of itself. The sound going completely
like mute.
silent,
Yeah.
like
That
for
was
her
dope.
part is so sick.
It was like almost so silent that you just felt the vibrations in the air, which is like creepy.
Yeah. Emily Blunt, incredible.
Right.
That's the thing with these kind of movies is it's a scary movie in its of itself, but the story behind it is what makes it a mile ahead of anything else.
Right.
What?
I'm just going back to Signs because, like, okay, let me jump into Signs
Jump ahead, man.
because Signs is, to me, it's a well thought out movie, very different at that time frame. It was like
This is M. Night Shyamalan, right?
yeah, this is one of his good ones.
Yeah, because this was like, I think this was the start of like, there's gonna be a twist.
right, and there wasn't really a huge twist. It was like, of course, there's aliens, but it was the mom. Like, it's that family value because you had Joaquin Phoenix's character where he played baseball and he just quit because he was like over it. Had to help his brother raise these two kids, and when Mel Gibson's wife got in that car accident, like all these flashbacks, and like she's pinned to this tree, and she's like, I forgot Joaquin's character name, but he's like, tell him to swing away, and it was just like, you're pinned to a car, and that's like your last statement, and then she dies, and then it doesn't click till the end where you see this flashback when the alien is in the room, and Joaquin, and they're all ready for battle, and they're just like, what's going on? And then Mel Gibson has that flashback, and he's like, swing away. And then you see the bat, he grabs the bat, just starts hammering it.
Yeah.
But the only downside of that movie that it's not like it where the tones shift. It's just like, it's kind of like Quiet Place where it's just like straightforward and just like, you're scared throughout the whole movie.
Yeah.
But there's this really good scene when Mel Gibson, it's almost like their last meal. Like they just, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I just don't remember it as well as you do.
Well, they are boarding up the house.
I remember that, yeah.
And then they're having their last meal, and he's like, whatever you want. And they're like, waffles and like pancakes, burgers, bacon, cheeseburger.
Give me a steak.
Right. But I mean, like, they're in the house, so they can't go. They're working with what they got.
Yeah.
And the kids are like petrified, and he's just like eating and like chomping down, and then he starts breaking down. He's like, "Stop crying!" And everyone's just like, "Oh, we're about to die." But that movie was like, it gave me the feels, and also, like I said, it didn't make me laugh. There wasn't really any like high part of like, oh my god.
That's the best part about it, is there are those funny moments that keep it. Man, it's a roller coaster.
It is. It's like, to me, that's like that. Like, if you're gonna go horror, that's like the genre of like
how it should go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you want like the scary movies, do you have a guilty like pleasure horror film?
I don't know if it's a horror film. but the first Strangers,
That stuff is insane.
yeah, that one that one was like it was the first time that I'd seen a scary movie that was like like not real, but it could be real. That messed with me because that's anybody could do that. Like it's not paranormal and all that. And like The Nun, like really The Nun, like it's not something that you can really believe.
Yeah.
So with The Strangers, it was something that I watched and I was terrified afterwards.
Like with it, James Wan, I think he did like he either did the Conjuring kind of stuff or the Insidious.
Okay.
But those ones are kind of in the same frame of like you have this character that's super like unrealistic, like the way they depict the demons. They look like cartoons.
Yeah.
Like it's not scary if you were just to see it right in front of you, but on a camera and the way they light it and they film it, it's terrifying. But like the Conjuring stuff and the Insidious, anything like Exorcist stuff, that's my like. I'm scared.
Well, I don't really watch those. I think I watched one with you, and it messed me up for a little bit. And that's what I don't really like about horror films is I don't want to be messed up. I want a good night's sleep.
Right. I mean, like The Exorcist when that first came out, like in the 70s, everyone was like, like throwing up in the theater and like scared.
Freaking out. Yeah.
It's one of those things. Do you dab them like? Good job, or you're like, you guys did a little too much. But
do you dab them?
But I like, I'm not horror is not my favorite genre, but like they got some good ones.
Yeah, I like horror that's mixed with like suspense.
Yeah,
it's probably not. You can't even. I think we're probably saying horror. We're using horror wrong.
Yeah, because I feel like Saw is horror.
Yeah. So, but
because like, what would you classify? Another favorite of mine, Shutter Island.
You consider that horror?
No, I'm saying what would you classify that as?
Oh, suspense and thriller?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That stuff is tight, though.
I love suspense and thrillers.
Yeah.
Those are the best. When you're kind of like holding yourself, like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.